Hi, welcome to 20 Christmas Ideas with GourmetQuilter. I'm Susan Clare, the Gourmet Quilter, and we're doing a whole series on ideas of things that you might make around the Christmas season or to use around the Christmas season. And we're doing pretty well. We're up to idea number 13 this time. There is a pattern for each of the ideas that comes each day. We're doing a video and pattern each day for 20 days. And that's a downloadable pattern from the website, from GourmetQuilter.com. If you're interested, there's more information on the site. So with our idea number 13, we're having lots of fun. We're making all these ornaments and table runners and all sorts of things. Today we're going to make some gift bags. So I've already made this little set of 3 gift bags here. So these two are actually the same. It's just a matter of when you tie it up, it looks a little bit different. And this is a larger one. So so we just need 2 fabrics and a small amount of ribbon there. So I'll just go and start showing you how to go about all this. So really it's quite simple. The 3 bags come from 1 fat quarter of the red, in this case the red, and a fat eighth of the white. So I've cut up my fat quarter of a green here and the fat eighth, which was the other half of the fat quarter of the white. So I'm going to get 3 bags out the same. I could of course have 4 bags, 4 of these smaller bags, or I could have 2 larger bags, or I can do 2 small bags and 1 large bag, just the same as I've just done there. So I've got these bits cut here, I've got the strips of white cut, so 1 for each bag, and all we need to do initially is we need to sew the rim on the top here. So this little rim here is sewn on it. The beauty of these bags is that they're all finished off. There's no raw edges anywhere, so they're kind of nice, reusable, great for storing all sorts of other things in, as well as just giving them as gifts with delicious things in. So I'm going to lay my white down, so I've got the right side facing up, and I'm going to lay this piece. Now it doesn't really matter at the moment whether this is right side up or not, and we need to do this to all 3 pieces. And I'm going to roll this one up to sit inside there, but still leave those raw edges there, and then bring the white over, so kind of like a little sausage roll, and we're going to stitch the 3 raw edges together. So the white is right sides in, and the other one at this stage doesn't matter because we can work that one out when we've done this bit. So I'll go ahead and I'll stitch this. So you can chain piece these through if you're going to make the 3, or if you were going to make a whole load of them, you could have some different coloured fat quarters. If you're making lots of little gift bags, perhaps you've got a whole group of people that you want to make something similar for, but they could be different colours. Or perhaps you just need to make yourself several gift bags because you need several gifts. Who knows? So I'm just going to do a regular 1/4 inch seam along here, with those edges all staying together, with that little roll in the middle there. Nothing terribly hard about this. So we've got it to this stage now. We need to turn it out the right way now. So it's a little bit tricky because it's attached all the way there, but we can just pull it through basically. It's a little bit trickier on the larger one, so we might, I don't know if we'll do that one as well or not. It's the same method as this, it just takes a little bit more pulling through on the larger one. So because it's all attached on one side, you can't kind of just pull the whole thing through from one end. You've got to work it through, but it will come. See, look, beautiful already. I'll bring the iron over and I'll give all that a press. So we want to press that out nicely, but we also want this top piece here, so we just want to give it a little bit of a tug against where the seam is so that it comes up nicely against that seam. And before we press the top edge, we might just flip it over and make sure that this edge has pressed up nicely as well, and then you can just press that top edge. It's all going to sit very nicely very shortly. It's looking pretty good. So now you need to know which is the right and the wrong side of your fabric, and I'm not convinced I can tell the difference on this one. And then you need your piece of ribbon. So we just want a piece of ribbon here, and we're going to fold that in half. So this is the right side facing up at the moment. I'm going to have right sides together. So I'm going to position the ribbon maybe an inch or so down from that top edge there. And I'm just going to stitch that in place just to hold it so that it doesn't move when I'm not watching. And then I'm going to just bring this over and sew down the side here and along the bottom edge there. And so we're just going to stitch this slightly less than 1/4 of an inch. I would say a scant 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just starting a little bit down from the top edge, but I'm just going to back up over that top edge. And I'm just sewing, as I said, slightly under 1/4 of an inch, and the two sides. And I'm just going to, ever so slightly, because there's a few little frayed bits of fabric, thread sitting on the edge there, so I'm just going to trim that just to tidy up the seam a little bit. It's not really trying to make it particularly small, although it is okay to trim it just a little bit. It's nice to get rid of all the little thread bits, because we don't really want those inside the bag. Oh, and the other thing is to just trim off the little corner, so that that turns nicely as well. So we're doing pretty well already. So we can turn this one out. And I'm just going to give it a press again, so that we can press out the bit that we've just stitched, that will press those seams out nicely so that they're nice and straight. This one along here, try and push it all out so that it's not sort of pleated in at all, and all the way up to the top. It's looking pretty good. So they don't take too long to make. And what I'm going to do now is do another row of stitching on those two sides that we've just done, about 1/4 of an inch in this time, and what that will do is enclose the raw edges, so there won't be any raw edges anywhere on this little bag. So we are doing the 1/4 inch this time. So there's our little gift bag made already. Let's snip off any little bits of thread that are sitting around. Pretty exciting. So that's the gift bag. So all three are made exactly the same way. As I said, this one's wider, but the method is exactly the same, just a little bit more involved pulling out that top bit there because of just the length of the channel that it's in. So the other thing I'm going to suggest that you do, if you want to turn back that little top, is give that a press now so that it knows where to turn back to when you put something inside it and tie it up. So you don't have to turn it back, but it's kind of fun to do that with. So inside this little one, I can pop something in so I can show you how we're going to tie it up. I've got a very delicious gift in this one, I have to say. 4 reels of thread. How nice would that be? I'd be very happy if somebody gave me a gift like that. So if you've got something that fits inside that little bag quite nicely, it doesn't of course have to be 4 reels of thread, it just seemed like a good idea at the time. And I'm just going to tie my 2 ribbon pieces around. So remember that's sitting down a little bit from that edge. It doesn't have to be even super tight necessarily, just so that it's tied and pulled in a little bit. You could put all sorts of good things in these little bags. You could have little bags of, oh, did I mention chocolate? Chocolate would be nice in these bags. And then you can just flip, you can either have it like that, which is of course nice, or you can actually fold that top down. And it's kind of cute, just having its little top folded down. You might see a little bit of the ribbon, you might not. And the same with this larger one. Do you want to see what's in the large one? This is a nice little gift as well. Perfect sizing. Oh, it's a little bundle of fat quarters. How exciting would that be? Threads in this one, fat quarters in this one. But exactly the same thing. You can see the beauty of it is with that not having any raw edges or anything showing, these bags are really long-term usable. So I think perfect. So if you were having a little Christmas sort of party where you had a whole little basket of gifts for people, that would be nice. They could sit on the table, they could sit under a tree, they could sit in my pocket. But I think that's a great way to make some little gift bags. They look quite cute. Of course, they don't have to be these colours. You could make them colours to suit. You might have a preference for purple and gold or blue and silver. And I've got red and green and white this time. So that was just a fun little gift bag to show you. I thought that was really just appealing. It's simple, it's long lasting, it's nicely finished off. What more could you want in a gift bag? So that was our Christmas idea number 13. I will see you again with Christmas idea number 14.